Organizing a human. Do cells work together? Cells, like these nerve cells, do not work in isolation. To send orders from your brain to your legs, for example, signals pass through many nerve cells. These cells work together to perform a similar function. Just as muscle cells work together, bone cells and many other cells do as well. A group of similar cells that work together is known as a tissue. This reading is going to talk about how we go from single cells all the way up to an entire organism such as yourself. And specifically, we're going to look at the human body and how different things that get organized together to make up you. Organization of your body. Cells, tissues, organs. Cells are grouped together to carry out specific functions. A group of cells that work together form a tissue. Your body has 4 main types of tissues, as do the bodies of other animals. These tissues make up all structures and contents of your body. An example of each tissue type is pictured below. We have skeletal tissue, or muscle tissue, nerve tissue, epithelial or skin tissue, and connective tissue. And this is an example is bone. Epithelial tissue is made up of layers of tightly packed cells that line the surfaces of the body. Examples of epithelial tissue include skin, the lining of the mouth and nose, and the lining of the digestive system. Connective tissue is made up of many different types of cells that are all involved in supporting and binding other tissues of the body. Examples include tendon, cartilage, and bone. Blood is also classified as a specialized connective tissue. Muscle tissue is made up of bands of cells that contract and allow movement. Nervous tissue is made up of nerve cells that send stimuli and transmit signals. Nervous tissue is found in nerves, the spinal cord, and the brain. Groups of tissues form organs. A single tissue alone cannot do all the jobs that are needed to keep you alive and healthy. 2 or more tissues working together can do a lot more. An organ is a structure made up of more tissues that work together. 2 or more tissues that work together. The heart is made up of the 4 types of tissues. As we see here, blood vessels are lined with epithelial tissue. Nervous tissue inside the heart controls the beating of the cardiac muscle. Connective tissue is found in the walls of blood vessels. The blood within these vessels is also a type of connective tissue. Cardiac muscle tissues pump blood out of the heart. So we have muscles, connective tissue, and nerves that cause the heart to beat. Groups of organs form organ systems. Your heart pumps blood around your body. But how does your heart get blood to and from every cell in your body? Your heart is connected to blood vessels, such as veins and arteries. Organs that work together form an organ system. Together, your heart, blood, and blood vessels form your cardiovascular system. What other organ systems can you think of? I'm thinking of some. Organ systems work together. Your body's 12 organ systems are shown below. Excuse me. Your organ systems do not work alone in your body. They must all be able to work together. For example, one of the most important functions of organ systems is to provide cells with oxygen and nutrients, and to remove toxic waste products such as carbon dioxide. A number of organ systems, including the cardiovascular and respiratory systems, all work together to do this. So I'm just going to go through this table here. Cardiovascular is heart, blood vessels, and blood. Its function is to transport oxygen, hormones, and nutrients to the body cells. Moves waste and carbon dioxide away from cells. So we have this table is organized with the organ system, the major tissues and organs, and then its function. The lymphatic system is lymph nodes and lymph vessels. They defend against infection and disease, moves lymphs between tissues and the bloodstream. So lymph is a fluid that gets moved between tissues and the blood. The digestive system is the esophagus, stomach, small intestines, and large intestines. This digests food and absorbs nutrients, minerals, vitamins, and water. The endocrine system is a pituitary gland, hypothalamus, adrenal glands, ovaries, testes. These produce hormones that communicate between cells. Integumentary system is the skin, hair, and nails. This provides protection from injury and water loss, physical defense against infection by microorganisms, and temperature control. Muscular system is cardiac, heart muscle, skeletal muscle, smooth muscles, and tendons. Some examples of smooth muscles are the ones that are like lining your esophagus that make you swallow, and your intestines and your stomach that push food through your digestive system. This is involved in movement and heat production. Nervous system, brain, spinal cord, and nerves. This collects, transfers, and processes information. Reproductive, females have different ones than males. We have the uterus, vagina, fallopian tubes, and ovaries. The male has the penis, testes, and seminal vesicles. These produce gametes, also known as sex cells, eggs and sperm, and sex hormones. Respiratory system, trachea, larynx, pharynx, and lungs. This brings air to sites where gas exchange can occur between the blood and cells around the body, or blood and air in the lungs. The skeletal system. These are bones, cartilage, and ligaments. These support and protect soft tissues of the body, and produces blood cells and stores minerals. The urinary system is the kidneys, urinary bladder, and urinary bladder. This removes extra water, salt, and waste products from blood and body. This controls pH, controls water and salt balance. And finally, the immune system. This is bone marrow, spleen, white blood cells. This defends against diseases. In summary, the levels of organization in the human body include cells, make up tissues that make up organs and make up organ systems. All those organ systems working together make up an organism, like you, the human. There are 4 tissue types in the body: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. I do highly suggest watching this video, and you'll be answering these questions for the assignment. As always, thanks for listening.